I sent it to my mom, and she said, I don't think I can listen to this ever again. It's too sad.
And then,
I think songwriting inherently has a level of vulnerability kind of built into it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Good songwriting, I would say, probably has
Yeah.
like a little... No, I'm kidding. But
Dynamite by Teo Cruz, you are under attack right now.
that's a great song.
I'm just kidding.
How
I actually
dare
love
you.
that song. I feel like as long as the artistry is still well represented and respected as the number one thing, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, if you do make TikToks, but you're not making TikTok songs, great.
Yeah.
You're an artist, and I love that. It's when you dilute the creativity and the artistry into just like this like content space.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, I don't see the like
The value, the merit.
Welcome to Roseflower Radio, the show that goes behind the scenes of your favorite independent artists. I don't know this accent, and creatives. I am your co-host, Michael Wilson.
And I am your co-host, Tony Mathias. And today on the show, we have Graham McLaren.
Graham McLaren. Beep, beep. He's not a car guy. Graham is an absolute beast of a songwriter, an artist, and a producer.
Every song a different genre, every song a different emotion. It's insane.
He's a phenomenal independent artist, and we got to talk a lot about like the beauty of like combining all these genres into one thing.
We are giving you guys a treat. This is 2 episodes in a row. Super long.
Yes.
Like an hour and a half long episode. So enjoy that. That's
Every
pre-edited.
second's worth it, though.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And I just want to say, this is the last episode that we are filming in 2023. This has been an amazing year for Roseflower. I want to thank you all so much for your support.
Chills, bro.
We are filming this before the charity stream, but hopefully it went well.
I think
by the
it
time
did.
you guys see this, it will have happened a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And it was hopefully amazing and so much fun. But thank you all so much for your support this year, and we'll see you in the new year, not too long away. Thank you so much.
Yes. Well, in the stew, in the Beat Laboratory today, we're cooking up here with Graham
How you doing?
McLaren. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
It's good. It's not 9:45 p.m. We out
We're
here
good. We're
on a
ready to
Saturday
go.
night. We out here. We late.
Well, the reason why is
Yeah.
because, you know, as all starving artists are doing,
Side
you
job.
gotta have the side
hustle.
job. Are you a big, like, have you, like, grown up doing the jobs and stuff? Like, how many jobs have you done, like, in your life?
God, a lot. It doesn't feel like I've grown up doing it, but now that like I think about it, like I talk to other people at work and they're like, "Oh, this is my first job," and like I've had so many. I worked at Macy's. I worked at Subway. I worked for the Cal Arts, the school I went to,
Cool.
for a while. I worked at the minor league baseball stadium in my hometown in Sacramento. They're like the Giants like AAA team.
Yeah.
And then now. Oh, I work for Guitar Center. That was
Worked
cool.
for Guitar
Oh,
Center.
that-
I feel like that's every musician.
I was
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say
Talk,
that. Was
like-
it as
Yeah.
good as everyone dreams it would be to work at Guitar Center?
Oh man, it was great. Everybody except for the boss, the guy, the main guy in charge. He was not really what I hoped, but everybody else was great. I mean, it was great to go to work and get to play guitar. You know,
Yeah, I
I don't
guess
get
that's
to
true.
do that at Trader Joe's.
So,
Really?
that would
Yeah,
make
I was gonna
sense.
say, yeah.
That'd be awesome. You're just in, like,
I know,
with the
just jamming
pickles.
out
Yeah,
there,
in
right?
the frozen food section, just going
Exactly.
crazy.
So, well, is there any possible chance your boss would listen to this from Guitar Center? Is there any message you want to give to him, like, you know,
Oh,
years down
man.
the line later?
I got nothing, man. I got nothing for him, honestly. I'm sure he's trying his best. I'm sure.
Well,
Yeah, that-
one thing. Okay, so working at the Guitar Center,
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of people they want to get in there for like the discounts and the gear.
The
and
discount is
everything.
hard.
Did
The
you? Okay,
discount
yeah.
goes
What was
hard.
like?
Wait, how much was it?
It's 50 to 60%. It's nuts, dude.
Yeah. Okay. What's the craziest thing you bought with that discount? What did you take advantage of?
I got the Moog Mother 32 semi-modular synth, which I still don't really know how to use.
Logan, if you say that to Logan, the other co-founder,
Uh-huh,
when we're
yeah.
done, he might fucking like. He
Yeah.
He might pass out.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
might steal
modular-
that
Either
from-
pass
He's a
out or
modular
Christmas
guy.
pants. We
Yeah,
don't
these
Yeah.
are crazy modular. Yeah, I wasn't
That's
gonna say.
sick.
Yeah, that's the other option. Yeah.
That's sick. Yeah, I don't know how much it goes for, but I got it for like 400 or something like that. Which
Wow.
is like compared to like I don't know, it's like a hardware synth, so it's like
Yeah.
yeah, that was nice. And then I reached out to like you guys know Grant Dackler,
Yeah.
and I reached out to him. I was like, if you ever need anything, just let me know. And
I
I
got
think
that
he got it.
crazy
He got a
discount.
couple pedals as well, I think, and we just kind of like made it work.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
think there's the story here that we're starting to unfold. So, like,
Mhm.
growing up, you said in where?
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Yeah.
Growing up in Sacramento, like starting the life and all that, like childhood music, like where was that for you? Like, were you like born in a musical family? Were your parents big on that, or like?
my parents are both lawyers, so that's
Opposite of
Not-
potentially
not-
the opposite of music.
yeah, not
It is
super
all
musical.
by the rules right
exactly,
there. You know?
exactly, and they're great. Well, one of them, when I was growing up, they're both lawyers, and then one of them is now like a business coach, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
I didn't know what that was until she started doing it, but yeah. So not super musical. I mean, they did a good job. Definitely, they sent me to like a very artsy school, and they played a lot of Prince in the house, which was really cool. I don't know if you guys have ever like.
I know Prince.
I don't know if you know who Prince is.
I've never heard of Prince, but
you ever like go back and listen to the music that you listened to as a kid, like now, especially like being musicians and stuff like that, and like just like listening to it different ears is really, really interesting. It's really a trip.
I've always said that I think like music as a whole, like it's such a blessing. I love what music is, but it's also just like tainted the way that I hear new music now sometimes. Yeah. Because I'm like, wow, that snare isn't like, I need
that
to know.
Vocal. Yeah.
Oh, the vocal. Dude, they had to use a 1073 or something.
Exactly.
You know?
Oh,
like,
that bass. Yeah.
I mean, it's great. I actually appreciate the music, I would say. But like, I think that's like a epidemic. That many
So parents
artists go
both
through.
lawyers growing up. What was the spark? Like, what was there like a moment for you? Was it just in school? Like, is there an initial first moment where you're like, oh, this might be it for me?
Yeah, I had a friend. He's a grade younger than me, and we played basketball together. So for a while, I thought I was gonna be in the NBA, which was crazy. Yeah.
You still do it? Like to this day?
I still do. Yeah. Not as much as I want to. You know, it's hard to find time, but yeah, I still do. And yeah, definitely. Yeah. Long story short, didn't get into the NBA, but yeah, right.
Right.
Oh, I thought you did. We had that in the notes here.
I didn't tell you I'm in the NBA.
That's cool.
Play for the
Who's your team?
But dude, the Sacramento Kings, of
Of course.
Okay. They were
ass.
They were so bad for 20 years, dude. And now they're good again, and it's like I'm so excited.
See, I'm a Nuggets fan because I was born in Colorado, did the whole thing, and we were never good. Yeah. Until like bubble, like once like the bubble happened, like we started to like get some. I mean, Jokic has always been amazing. You know what I mean? This is not a sports podcast, though. We could continue on with that, but it's not why we're here. I can feel like some people.
I know. I was like, are we going down the rabbit hole?
Obligatory. I make fun of Micah for the Broncos.
Not anymore, dude.
No, I'm pissed. No, because how the fuck are the Broncos positive right now?
Are you an NFL guy at all?
Not really. My brother's he was a big Colts fan.
Yeah.
So rough. Like back when they had Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning and
stuff. Less rough then.
Yeah, no, now
Broncos had Peyton Manning
now
too.
pretty rough. So now not really. Now my team's the Raiders. My girlfriend's family likes the Raiders. So and I like them because they're as close to Sacramento and then they left and now
then they're like not anymore.
Raiders just be moving, bro.
Dude, they just be moving. Yeah, but their merch goes hard.
That's
too,
what I was gonna say. So
like,
the thing about the Raiders is so interesting is like. They have bounced around a lot, but like I think their fan base is so diehard.
Yeah.
Like a Raiders fan is scary to me.
Yeah, my parents used to always tell me like you can't go to Raiders games; they'll beat you up.
Dude, it's intense, man.
Yeah. Okay, so you're from. I know it's not quite Sacramento, but what about the A's? Like, how do you feel about all of that shit going on?
I like how we said we're not a sports podcast.
Yeah, we're not. But I'm curious. I'm curious.
We'll make it happen. I'm not like huge into baseball. I think like my mom's one of my moms. I have two moms. One of my moms is from technically I have three moms now. We'll get into that later.
Me,
but yeah,
flex on us like that. Triple the moms, yo.
Hey man, we're working on 4. But one of them is from the East Coast, so she likes the Red Sox, and then my brother likes the Yankees just to be a problem.
You have to be
so,
different.
Yeah. So I don't know. They like that, and I don't mind. I played baseball for like a season, and I was like, this is so much harder than it looks.
Yeah, dude.
Like
it's so crazy, bro.
It looks like so.
And it takes so long. It takes so long.
At least it's not like cricket though.
Bro, cricket is a 5-day. Like, dude, I hate cricket. I can't do cricket. Cricket is, and it doesn't make sense. I don't understand how this. They're like, oh, he needs 700 from 8 to win. It's like, what does that mean?
Know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, the really funny thing is on that note too, and then we're gonna be done with sports. I promise everyone.
This is it.
This is the last thing Roseflower will say on sports. So listen.
Not true at all. But if Broncos. Dude, if Broncos win the Super Bowl, you owe me $50.
If the Broncos win the Super Bowl, I will cry. Like,
I will give me $50 if the Broncos win the Super Bowl.
If the Broncos get to the Super Bowl, I will buy a Super Bowl ticket.
If the Rams make it to the playoffs, I'll give you $50.
Okay, if Rams make it to the playoffs, I get $50.
Wait, no, that's not.
If
fair
the Broncos, where's the Super Bowl this year?
I don't even know, dude.
Okay, the Broncos make it to the Super Bowl. I will sell everything I have. I will get Super Bowl tickets.
And
we will watch the Broncos get destroyed by whoever it is in the Super Bowl.
Nah, man.
Those are high stakes.
Russell Wilson is unlimited. But anyways, that's
Broncos country.
Oh, fuck. Those are so funny.
Yeah.
Those are so funny.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
I think, I've said this before, I think that Russell Wilson is the most cringe guy. There's something about him where he's just we wake up, we work. We go to sleep, we work. I'm like, that's not how sleeping works, bro. But
He's
it's like
him and LeBron, I think, are in the same boat. He's like, that's my favorite
LeBron's a little bit funnier. Like
he's funnier, but he'd be fucking lying.
Dude,
Bro. I always say that. That's my favorite saying.
I was there. I was there. I actually convinced him to do that for
He's
real.
A very smart man.
Like, have you read that book? And
very
he's like
smart man.
8 times. Like, what's your favorite part? The ending,
all
for
of
sure.
it, bro. No, all of it, bro.
So funny. But we were talking about the ending. Let's get to the beginning. Come on. So Sacramento.
Yeah. Have you been ever? Either
no,
of you?
dude.
No.
No, I had a roommate for. That's why I said Sacktown when you said it. 'Cause my roommate was from Sacramento. He would always, bro, Sacktown, baby.
People think it's weird, bro. We do call it Sacktown, right? Not Sacktown. We just call it Sack. But like people think that's weird, like for obvious reasons. But
I know. Can you explain?
I don't even like. Well, it's just, it's an abbreviation. But dude, it was so whack because it was called City of the Trees, and that's great, right?
That's a cool name.
City of the Trees is cool. It's like it's got like some little weed connotations. It's great. And then now it's the farm to fort capital, and everybody fucking hates that shit.
Farm to fort capital?
Exactly. So when you drive in on the freeway into Sacramento, there's a big water tank, and it used to say Sacramento, City of the Trees, and there'd be there's a painting, there's a mural, and there's trees around, 'cause there's a lot of trees.
Makes sense.
And now it's the farm to fort capital, dude. I hate that shit.
What is that even? Farm to fort capital?
Farm to fork. So
fork.
There's a lot of farmland and surrounding
they chop down the trees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they cut right all the trees.
No more trees. Exactly. Yeah. So they got a lot of farmers markets and it's farm to fork. It's great movement. Farm to fork's great movement. I just don't really
You're more of a tree
bring
guy.
back City of Trees.
Yeah, bring back the trees.
Exactly.
that could be bring back City of Trees. Brought to you by.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Exactly.
Okay, so growing up in Sacramento, what was the kind of the music scene like for a young dude trying to find his way? Did you know what genre you were gonna go? How much?
Yeah.
What is the scene like?
Influences on your growing up.
So. As we were talking about earlier with the whole we got sidetracked with the whole basketball thing. I had a friend. You're good. I had a friend who played basketball. We played basketball together. He's a grade younger than me. And he was always rapping. He always had this just YouTube beats, and he'd just be rapping in 7th grade. Well, 7th grade it was way before Juice WRLD or any of that shit. It'd be Lil Wayne type beat or something like that. So he kind of inspired me, and then I started writing a bunch of stuff on my phone. I just write just albums on my phone. I've always been obsessed with albums. I'm gonna make this album, this concept album. So I was in 8th grade working on concept albums, which was fun, and they were probably pretty bad, but it was fun for me. But so after that, basically the scene was a lot of pay to play, hip hop shows. There's not a big hip hop scene in Sacramento. What I learned afterwards is that there's a big experimental music scene in Sacramento, which is you guys know Death Grips.
Yep.
And I found out about that all Deftones. I found out about that retrospectively that they're all from Sacramento. I didn't even know. So it's all the scenes that I wasn't in, experimental, rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were just going to the wrong parties.
Exactly. So it was a lot of really kind of awkward pay to play shows that my parents would come to, and it was great, thank you guys, this is awesome. And I have to sell a certain amount of tickets, and I'd be at school with printed out tickets, just stressing.
This is all in high school.
Yeah. I was guys, these are $15. You got to get.
So you were just rapping at the time, basically.
Yeah, I was rapping and I was producing. I think I started producing I started writing first, and then I started producing, and then I just kind of put the two together, and it was really, really bad for a really, really long time.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, that is how it goes. Yeah.
And then so then when did you decide that was, you're in high school. There's a lot of other shit going on in high school other than you're selling the tickets and everything. At what point did you decide, okay, well, I'm going to do this, was there a moment, or did it just kind of happen? Because for some people, they have a moment where they consciously decide that they're going to take the path. And for some people, just kind of they wake up, they're like, oh, I'm kind of doing the thing.
Yeah.
So how did it happen for you?
I think I'm a pretty like all or nothing kind of person. I'm like kind of like the extremes, and I think once I realized I wasn't gonna be in the NBA, I was like, all right, what's the next like crazy thing?
You didn't
That's
hit,
awesome.
I can
you
fixate
didn't hit
on.
6'5", you were like, shit.
I just exactly like I wasn't able to dunk in 8th grade, so I just like pivoted to the next like just wildest thing you could think of, which was like, all right, let's do music. There was never any practical dreams. It was either the NBA and then it was
I mean, I think that's the idea of
music.
dreams, though.
Yeah,
They don't have to
exactly.
be
A practical dream is a little bit of an oxymoron, but yeah. So I think around like when I was writing stuff in like 8th grade, I was like, thinking about it. Obviously, like I was like, oh, I could do this, but in the same way, like I thought I could be in the NBA. I didn't really think about it that hard. I was just like, oh, I can do this. And then you get into high school, and then you start thinking about colleges, and then you actually start thinking about your future. And then I was like, oh, okay, I've already like hedged all my bets on this. Like I kind of just realized like, oh, this is like the only thing I'm giving all my time to. So like, better do that.
Better work, huh?
Yeah, and also like I don't really like anything else. Like I couldn't really focus on anything else. Like I really like English. I think if I didn't do music, I would have been like an English teacher or something. I read like a lot.
It was bad for a long time.
Yeah.
Then it got good.
Yeah.
With October 33.
Oh yeah, you guys you went deep.
We got the Nardwuar. This dude got the Nardwuar.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was gonna be any
Yeah.
So I heard.
Where did that come around?
So it was. So I met this girl, and her name is Nisa, and that's my girlfriend. We've been together for 5 years now.
Wow.
So if you check the timeline, that song came out like, what was it, like 2020?
Yeah, that's what it said.
It was like right when the pandemic started, January of the pandemic starting. It was her birthday coming up, and I was like, I want to make her a song.
That's cool.
So, and I had a couple songs I had put out before that on Spotify. I've since taken them down because I don't really love them. But that's like the only song that I made from that time period that like still holds up, which is really cool. But yeah, her birthday is November 2nd. So October 33rd is also November 2nd.
So what made you say October 33rd?
Well, it was originally called Summer in October, but then I just wanted something that was like a little bit cleverer and also like tied in a little bit like more
with her
directly with her. Yeah. So yeah, it was her birthday, and I wrote that song and like produced that song and all that stuff, and then and she loved it, which was cool. I don't know, like
you said 5 years.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in the short attention span world that our young generation lives in.
Are you implying that TikTok is ruined relationship?
I think so, bro.
Like the TikTok relationship, dude. It was 3 seconds long. Oh my god.
No, but I mean honestly that's awesome. That's really impressive.
Yeah,
and, you met her in Sacramento.
Yeah. Right before I went to college, so I went to University of the Pacific, and for like a year, and then I went to Cal Arts, or then I went to City College, and then I went to Cal Arts. Right the summer before the summer after high school we met, and then I went off to college, and then we just kind of did the long distance thing for a year, and then I came home and we were together for a year, and then we did the long distance thing for 2 more years, and then now we live together, and she moved out here.
Wow.
What does she do?
She is like. Honestly, she's really interesting. She does a lot of different things. So she has a degree in deaf studies, which is really cool. So like I know a little bit of sign language, and she knows significantly more sign language.
That's awesome.
Hence the degree. But
I guess you'd hope she has a degree.
Exactly, right? Yeah, that'd be weird if I knew more. But yeah, she's just she also is like an abstract artist. She does like collages and stuff like that. She also like helps me like direct creatively a lot of some of the stuff that I do. Like
That's
obviously.
Cool.
Yeah, like living together, and then also doing the long distance thing, like a very like a point of like really unique connection is like I can send her songs, I can play her the stuff that I'm working on, and like get input, and it's cool, and it's really great. I'm really grateful for it.
Wow, I have a lot of things to say on that. One, I have a very strict opinion where I think that when you're in 3rd grade and you learn cursive.
Sure, yeah,
it's like a me thing.
Of course, yeah, no, definitely.
I think that we should learn sign language in 3rd grade instead of cursive. I honestly genuinely no one uses cursive. Yeah. I do not know a lot of people. I mean, maybe there are like 1 or 2, but in my opinion.
But also, you don't need cursive. Like, there's nobody out there who can only read cursive. Like, you can't communicate with them if they're not in cursive. That's a good point.
What made you think of this? Like, is this like a
it's an ongoing. I've been fighting this battle for years.
Okay, so what started this for you?
Is this therapy now? Are we going?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, what? Because it's kind of it's kind of niche. Like,
school that I grew, my high school, it was we were right next to a deaf school. The deaf school got built up there, so there were a lot of kids that played on like sports teams and stuff like that were also kind of deaf. Not kind of, they were deaf.
Kind of deaf.
So it was one of those things where, as a school, we tried to like implement some things, but like, you can learn a lot quicker the earlier you are.
Of course, yeah.
The
younger you are. Yeah.
Thank you. And I have not learned anything apparently, but yeah. So it was definitely one of those things for me where that I feel like that. Also, just being able to either learn a new language, but it's like sign languages. I don't know any sign language. That's not coming from anywhere there, but I just think that'd be something that would be way more accommodating for more people.
Definitely.
And yeah, that's my thing.
There you go. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
That's Micah's TED Talk on sign language.
Yeah, but then the other question that I have for you was then like, so I think that something's really cool is like, okay. So girlfriend is also doing the abstract stuff. She also directs a bunch of things like creatively for you. I think one of the things that stuck out to me immediately about you was the amalgamation of all of the different genres that you kind of like put together. Yeah. Like I think there is so much influence that I mean like I might be wrong here, but correct me if I'm saying like the wrong thing. But I feel like that there's intense like aggressive rap stuff from like SoundCloud era in there. There's also like I've heard like there's funk and even like or like there's like the
more chill. I wouldn't quite call it frat rap, but more chill kind of.
Yeah. Well, Mac Miller, I would say.
Yeah, more like the Mac Miller like and chill rap.
There's hyper pop. There's so much experimental, which I don't know if that's so much like you just being in Sacramento or like where do you think that came from? Because I feel like that your music is so like
most artists
broad.
Or a lot of artists try to stick to at least a genre.
I can't.
Yeah, so
I can't, bro.
Where do you think that comes from?
I just get excited, man. When I was like first thinking of like going back to like the early days of like thinking am I gonna actually do music? I wanted like my original goal was to be in a rock band and be a rapper and also be like an EDM DJ because when I started out making music, I was making beats on FL Studio and what made me want to do that was Skrillex.
Yeah.
And when Skrillex and Diplo like in like 2016, 2015, like when they had the world in a chokehold.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do I make that? And I had the FL Studio where it was like the free version. So you'd make a beat and then like you would save it, but you can't reopen it until you buy it. So I never bought it, so I never got to see any of those beats again. But
wow,
yeah.
The amount of creativity that they accidentally spurred by doing that.
Exactly,
people would just make their beat and then export it out, and that would be the beat.
You can't even bounce it. You couldn't even bounce it.
You couldn't even bounce.
They wouldn't let you bounce. Like I didn't even have like a phone that did video. I was gonna you could take a video of it.
Like put your phone mic on top of your laptop speaker. Yeah,
record it in the mic. Yeah, no. So it was. I'm sure people have found a lot of really creative workarounds, but me, like being like 15 or 14 or something, like not really knowing a lot of music of like technology and stuff. I didn't really find any workarounds. I was just like, all right, that's it. I'm gonna make this, work on it, and then now it's gone. Wow. So yeah, I think I just get excited and I listen to a lot of different music and I try to know. I always like to say it's like as a musician, it's my job to know like everything, like to know all the music. Like you ever see the like, yo, you're a musician, name every song. But I took that to heart and like try to branch out and stuff like that. So I get like a lot of different stuff because I grew up listening to a lot of different things and I don't know, like the song that I did My Room came about because I was listening to a bunch of Al Green. Yeah. And I was like, I want to make a song that's like that.
Slow. Yeah. Well, the thing that's cool is, I mean, I'm also kind of getting the fact that, like, I think you, even how you were saying, like, for me, it was, like, NBA or, like, the extremists and stuff. And, definitely, like, in the same regard, too, I think that, like, as you are, like, going to a different genre or picking a different sound or style, it's, like, you're going to do everything. And that's, like, to me, honestly, I think that is so dope because it's, like, like in your music, it's an audio representation of just like the fun creativity that I think that you as a person brought to the sound and stuff. Because like you get someone who's like are you still using FL? Like are you?
No. So I used Logic for like 5-6 years, and then I just switched to Ableton after living with Grant Tackman because he's the Ableton wizard, and shout out to him.
Come on.
But he gave me one of his licenses, so I just have it on my laptop now. So
okay, I might get doxxed for saying not doxxed. That's the wrong term. I might get in trouble for saying this. I have just given out Ableton to so many people.
Fair. And no, I know somebody else from who's also like, oh yeah, Grant gave me his Ableton license.
Well, and that's the thing is like I've just handed it to people, and like there are like 6 or 7 licenses that are activated on like that's Ableton Suite or whatever. Like
you don't even know who has your Ableton.
Well, no, it's not that. It's I've not like handed out my password so they could log in.
Yeah, but like
sure.
Yeah.
But you give out the license and the code, and
actually, literally all it is. Sorry, I feel like this is.
How to get Ableton for free by Micah.
Find someone who has Ableton. Log into Ableton.com with that thing.
With their thing, and then just download it.
Just download it. Yeah, there's no code or anything. But like normally it's like you have to activate it online. I think that's the security thing.
And you get a certain amount of like licenses. Like I know
I have given it away, and I have not had.
No, I know.
I'm the same way.
Limits you to 3 downloads.
Yeah, and
things like that.
Dude, Waves is so frustrating because you have to buy a second license.
No, okay. Waves. I got the hack for Waves though. I got.
What's the Waves hack?
Well, it's not the Waves hack. The Waves hack is you work for somebody who has a friend at Waves.
Fair. Yeah.
And they give you a cracked license for every plugin that Waves make. So that's what I didn't know. It was like the same thing. They were like, delete Waves installer from your computer. Download this cracked version of Waves installer, and then you log in with it works with one username and password, and it was like Waves test 1 2 3 or something, like some shit like that, and then it was literally
you get everything,
every plug, and then it was like download it all, go to your browser, delete your cookies, and uninstall it. You gotta make it like it never happens.
And
that was.
This is all ironic. This is all irony.
This is hypothetical.
This is all hypothetical.
This
is a non-legitimate situation, and there's no way that you can prove it.
This is what we would do. How to get free Ableton and Waves plugins in Minecraft.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
What this is, actually, yeah.
That's how it is. That's how it is with my Splice too. My Splice
in Minecraft.
I had so many people on my Splice. Like for a minute, like just random samples would pop up. I had to like. Eventually, like change the password, but like there was like 4 or 5 people on my Splice account for a while, and like Omnisphere, I gave out Omnisphere too. I paid for that, so I can do what I want with my licenses.
There you go.
But just gave him out. It's like I was like, met some guy. I was like, do you want Omnisphere? He's like, yeah. Sure.
I never bought Omnisphere. That was one of the big ones that I never got around to picking up.
I don't use it. It's not even. I don't even.
I think it had a phase. It had a moment where like Metro Boomin was like, "This is the.
I'm gonna re-download it because recently I was talking to, believe it or not, Flying Lotus, just randomly.
What?
He went and did a talk at CalArts.
Yeah.
That I was lucky enough to go and attend, and somebody's like, "Oh, what's your favorite like VST?" And he's like, "Omnisphere." I was like, "What?" I haven't heard that name in years. Like
it's like an old foe.
Exactly.
The secret text.
He's like, oh, like I have it mapped to all like my MIDI controllers and stuff like that. I was like, what the? So like now I gotta go re-download Omnisphere and like just see.
Dude, well, so that's okay. Amazing. So you're going from the. I want to talk about Grant too because I want to know how you ended up meeting him.
Oh, it's so
and all
funny.
that stuff too.
It was so funny.
You were you were his roommate for a bit.
Yeah. So when I went to CalArts, I got there and we were just like doing orientation and there was like just like a group of people, and I don't know like if you guys like like college orientations or just really orientations at like work or something like that. Like you meet a bunch of people originally and you're like, oh, you guys are gonna be my best friends, and then you never talk to like it's like midway through the year and you never see them again.
I have a really bad habit of like telling people we're gonna be homies for life.
Exactly. Yeah. This is gonna be the squad. This is gonna be we're gonna be the we're gonna be the friends. So like. It was him and like just a bunch of like random ass people who I never talked to again. And I was talking to a bunch of them and he comes up behind me and he goes like, hey, I make music too. I was like,
you're like,
oh really?
Friends.
Cool. Like, come like, let me hear some of the stuff that you've done. And like, so I guess kind of one thing led to another. And he still has the very first song we made, and it's not great, but,
it never is.
We have so much stuff in this never coming out. just because like we lived together, and then also like when he was at CalArts, he had like just such a nice like dorm setup that I would just go over there and I'd just hang out, and he'd just be like, oh, like just playing me beats. And at one point he was like sweet mates with another one of my best friends, so it was a really great time. That was a really great time, but
and now it's just you and your girlfriend.
Yeah, now it's just me and my girlfriend. He still lives in Santa Clarita, and I still go visit from time to time.
Where are you at right now?
I'm in Sherman Oaks, so like about 30-ish minutes away from here.
So not too bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's really interesting living in LA.
Yeah.
How long have you been here now?
I got to Santa Clarita about 3 years ago, maybe two. Yeah, about 3 years ago, just about.
And biggest shift for you, in your opinion, from Sacramento to LA? Like, what are like the big like factors being in the big city?
Well, to talk about Santa Clarita, it's like the most like unfriendly to pedestrian place you could ever be. Like it's like the streets, like every street is like 6 lanes across,
Roads
like
everywhere.
Just like there's no, like the sidewalks is like you're walking, it's like you're in like a wind tunnel, like the cars are going by, and you're like, it's like the most stressful thing. There's just so many people here, and the roads are all very, very like large, or they're very, very small, and you're like in like Silver Lake or something, and you're like
there's an inch between the parked cars.
Exactly,
on the other side.
dude.
Like,
yeah, there's just so many people here, and like, I don't know. I think that was really overwhelming because I went to a small high school, I went to a small grade school, and CalArts is a very small college as well. Like I'm just used to like really, really kind of like insular society group thing, and it's like LA's the opposite. That's just
I think that was a big shock for me too, because I kind of had a similar thing, like going to small schools. Like my high school, I think we had a graduating class of like 200 kids, maybe, which is like it was like kind of like that middle of the road thing. Yeah. But like, I remember when I first moved out here, it was like, wow, there are a lot of people here.
Definitely.
But the weird thing about it is, I feel like everyone still knows everyone somehow.
Yeah, everybody's
like
really
especially in underground music scenes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like when we go to shows and stuff, and like we like, it's like we meet like you, for example, or like not even that, but like, oh, we know this guy, and oh, like he knows him, and oh my gosh, we've been chatting for like forever, and I know this guy.
Exactly.
It's so weird how it's such. That's what's, I think, the big appeal, in my opinion, about LA, is that it is such a tight, like it's a huge city with so many people. Yeah. And it can seem so overwhelming, but the people suck. Also, the people are awesome. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, there's just so many of them. You kind of get like a mixed bag for
sure. You just gotta find. I think we've said this before on the pod. Your people are in LA. You just gotta fucking find them. Yeah. You gotta like, because people are like, oh, I can't find my people. Well, if you sit at home and like don't go out, then you're not gonna find your people. But they're out there. I promise you. There's so many fucking people here.
They're out there.
There's at least a few of them who like you. You just like, you gotta go find them. Like your people are in LA, but there's so many other people. You gotta go out and find them a little bit.
True.
And then you do, and you realize that they already know your homie, and like your roommate used to be that guy's roommate.
Exactly.
And, like, all of
exactly.
That. Yeah.
So speaking of knowing people that we know, you did a music video with Dumb Days.
That was good.
I'm getting better,
cool.
bro.
That was really cool.
Smooth operator. Over here.
Yeah. I did.
And that was for. Hang on, don't tell me. It was Nature versus Nurture, right?
Yeah.
And that song is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's first of all, I can talk a lot about that, but that was a song that I think in a really cool way showcased the kind of extremities.
Exactly. That's the point.
But like the extremeness of a lot of your music, with it being aggressive rap stuff, but then at the end it kind of turns into this like kind of, in my opinion, I don't know if I'm over speaking for you, but like this heartfelt kind of like, there was a fun like kind of rapness to that, which
is that the nature versus the nurture?
Yeah, it is.
I
definitely.
didn't even think about that until just now.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think that I wanted that song to be as jarring as like possible, and also I just think like songs that are like that, the first half, like it really can't last that long. Like you can't have like a 3-minute song that's like that. That's why I like stuff like Look at Me and all the XX, like all the SoundCloud stuff, like was like, it's like under a minute, because like it gets tiring after a while, so you have to change to something. Totally. But I just wanted it to be as jarring as possible. And the cool thing about Dumb Days is like, I didn't even know them. I just like slid into his DMs on some cold open shit and was like, hey, I have this song. Do you want to make a video for it? And he was like, yeah, I actually really like this song. Let's do a video for it.
That's insane. And then
it
kind
was
of
wild. Yeah.
So was that before he kind of knew the rest of like Buffy and Declan and all of them, or was that just, or was it complete coincidence? You DM'd him and then he was like, "Yeah, and also I know all of the people you know."
I don't know. I don't know if we talked about. I don't remember if we talked about that. I think that he had done the Hot B video before.
Okay.
I think, yeah, because I think that was around this time last year, and the Nature versus Nurture was like February of last year.
Well, it's funny because I think that maybe a year ago today,
that's
like when we started to actually like talk with Dumb Days. We had him here on the channel. You guys can check that out.
Yeah, I remember.
It was early in the year, like January. He was. I think he might have been the first one of the year.
It sounds right,
or something like that.
And that was the thing is like around that time too. You know, it was like this whole. It's just interesting because you were probably filming something with him at that time, and I remember seeing like that shot of you kind of looking through like the mouth and stuff as he was teasing that when we just recently followed him. And it's kind of cool how things worked out.
And now here we are. Yeah.
So I mean, like you said, you just you cold DM'd him. What was the video like shooting that music video experience like for you? Like, were you directing kind of all that, or was he just kind of
he sent me like a sort of like a mood board, or like what's it called, a treatment. He sent me a treatment for it. It was like, and it was just beautiful. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
it's the best thing I've ever seen, because he's super talented.
He's ridiculous.
Exactly, yeah. And the stuff that he does with video, like he can do even better, like stuff with like this, with just like stills. So he sent me this like beautiful like Adobe PDF, and I opened it up and it was like choir music playing. Like, holy shit!
Your screen was glowing.
This is the best thing I've ever seen. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, this is great. I have like literally no notes. And so we just like, I showed up to his house and like we literally shot it in his like little LA apartment, like tiny little like, and then just like hang the green screen in the living room, and then he just happened to have these teeth from like some other thing he was doing, and then after that we like drove to some, he said he knew a spot, and then we
trust me, drove
to some, exactly, so we just pulled up to some like alley and we just did the rest of it there, and then we drove around in his car.
What was the other guy's name who was on the
his name's Zedrin. Yeah.
So how'd you get connected with him too?
He's friends with Grant.
Okay,
he's friends with Declan, and
because he brought a lot of energy to that song too.
Yeah, that was cool. I played it for Declan, and you guys know Jordan Everett?
That name sounds so... How do I know Jordan?
He's close with... that whole group of Bubby and Kenji and Jordan and Zedrin and Eleanor.
Yeah.
That's all like this whole... like that was like my intro to the underground LA music scene, was meeting Grant. Like that's why I was so happy that out of all those random ass people I could have talked to at orientation, it was him, because he didn't really give a shit about the CalArts community. He was like, I actually know people who are doing this for real. Yeah. So I got to meet all of them, and I played it for him and for Jordan, and Jordan was like, you have to get Cedric on this. And I was like, who? And so I went and listened to some of his music, and I was like, okay, yeah. And he was nice. I hit him up about it, and he showed up and did it, and he did it in like 30 minutes, and then he left.
Wow.
And that was it. It didn't take him that long at all, which was great. But it was cool.
That's so sick, dude. Mm-hmm. I love the first of all, it reminded me of something else, but I love people who can like come in and just be like, all right, here you go, and then like dip, or like sometimes they'll even be like friends. I had a buddy of mine, like when I was like starting production and stuff, it was just like one of my friends, shout out to my boy Carson Jeffrey, absolute dog. But he was a kid who was just like my next door neighbor growing up. But he would sit on my couch anytime like I would like try and make music or something, you know?
Yeah.
And he was just that fly on the wall that I'd be like, man, dude, like he's like, dude, get rid of those bells, you know? Those are horrible. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right.
You're right.
Just like having someone in that room where it's like, I mean, that's a little different, but like in the same regard, like,
what's the name of the guy from the Kanye documentary who was always filming?
Kanye told me. Kanye told me he was getting married.
Even though it was my daughter's first birthday, Kanye needed me in the studio. You know,
that was the funniest part of the thing of that whole documentary. Was just like this.
He just gave up his life.
Kanye he's like, punched me in the face.
I knew Kanye.
And that was when I knew it was time for me to go home.
And as my wife was going into labor,
exactly.
Kanye told
was
me
working on his album.
Yeah. So I was in the studio.
So sad, man. I forget that dude's name, but
it
Absolute Trooper. We need some more of those.
Absolute Trooper, for sure.
We need some more of those. You need some support groups like that, bro.
For real.
But no, that's awesome. So like, I think that that song is an an amazing showcase for those who haven't heard it. Listen to it; it'll be linked right below. But it's one of those things where I think that that again just showcases the absolute fun that I think that you have in your music. Yeah. Now I'm not knocking anyone else here, and obviously music is music, it's art, so people can take it their own way. But like to me as a fan, it is so inspiring to see someone like because I know that feeling of like when you're making something and it's like this is the coolest thing ever. Yeah. Like I'm the and you kind of it's like kind of an ego thing sometimes. Yeah, too, like definitely. I'm the best person in the room ever.
Speaking of Kanye, yeah,
exactly. Totally, man.
So what was he doing on that boat?
Oh, that bro, man. He looks so weird now, dude. He looks
goofy. That's besides the point. What we're trying to say is that, I think that that feeling of just like, oh my gosh, when you're making something bigger than yourself, Yeah. And as a fan of music, I always gravitate towards music that I feel like that I can hear that. Like I can hear that in me playing, just screaming the song. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that was a song that I think really did that for me because it seemed like there was a lot of fun. And also like I want to know about like the album covers too.
Yes.
For like I don't know why, but like something about that album cover, was that your like shoulder?
The Nature We Nurture one was fucking
I shoot all my own album covers. Yeah.
Really?
I just set up the tripod in the kitchen of the apartment, and I turn off all the lights, and I got these two colored lights from Walmart, and I put one behind me and one in front of me, and then just started making like
Shout
faces.
Out the A7 II, baby.
And I knew that I was gonna. No, I was before. I was using Grant's camera. I can't remember what he has, like some other Sony, but I couldn't remember what it was.
Pictures,
yeah, something that takes pictures. Yeah, it wasn't an iPhone though. It was not shot on an iPhone. Cool. No, but I originally wanted to say it on my teeth, and I had Invisalign for a while, and so I wrote it on the Invisalign dentures, and I was gonna like smile and have it say it on there on like the. Do you guys know Injury Reserve?
No.
Wait, what is that?
Band, alternative hip hop outfit, trio. Well, now duo.
I've heard that name. I might have a song there saved. I don't know it that well though.
They have an album cover that I was like was kind of based off. It's that album that S on My Chest is on for anybody who's an Injury Reserve fan. It was like it would have been cool to have like a grill, but I don't have a fucking grill, and I don't use Photoshop like that. So yeah, I just shoot all the album covers, and now I'm doing this thing where I'm painting all the album covers. So like my room had a painting on it, and then We Take It Slow has a painting on it. And then the next one, which is called Waste My Time, which comes out in January. I think January 5th we're gonna do. So it's really close to the top of the year.
Cool.
But is also painting, and they're all like it's all painting now.
So are you said Invisalign.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I took away from that.
That's the only thing that matters.
I'm kidding. I have a lot of things to say, but so never braces.
No, I didn't really realize how messed up my teeth were until like I went to the orthodontist and they were like,
that's normally when you find out.
You open your mouth and you burst out laughing.
Exactly. Well, because I've never had cavities.
There you go.
And I don't think my mom's had cavities either. Like we have really good genetics, which is like, which was really sad because like my brother was having this like root canal after root canal, and I just felt so bad for him. He was like 6 years old, and they're like operating on his mouth, and he's just like crying. Dang, it's so sad. But now, and I was like, man, I don't even brush my teeth like that. Like, I don't even, but now I do definitely dental hygiene. Sure? Dental hygiene is important, but
for real.
Exactly.
How often do you floss? You a big floss guy?
Yeah, I try to floss twice a day, but usually it ends up being once a day, like right before
You floss
bed.
Once a day?
Yeah, oh yeah. Dude, once you do it, you can't go back. Like once you like realize how much like stuff is in your teeth, like I just can't sleep at night knowing that there's
recommended by 9 out of 10 Roseflower guests.
Exactly, dude.
Do you floss?
So, I do floss.
It's
How
important.
frequently do you floss?
I floss like once every other day because my teeth are more fucked up than ever. I can't. It's really hard for me to floss, so I floss like once every other day. Otherwise, it like bleeds. Like,
Kate, how often do you floss?
Once a week.
I find this fascinating.
How often
do you floss?
I don't even know when I floss,
don't,
bro. I think I flossed like maybe 3 months ago.
That's a problem.
I don't mean to get called out, bro.
Start now.
Bro.
Hey, I'll go home and I will floss.
You know how the cavities form, dude, is when the food's in between your teeth and then it just sits there.
I think I had like 1 or 2 cavities. I haven't had one in a while.
You're working on some more.
Yeah, give it a minute, bro.
I didn't know it was like that. I'm like conscious of my mouth now,
no,
bro.
Micah, we gotta turn this into a TikTok, and then you gotta duet it with you.
Flossing your teeth. There you go, man.
I'll do it, bro. But yeah, so that's wow.
So never braces. Cool. I got Invisalign. Lucky me. I had really, really scary teeth for a while.
How you feel about the Invisalign process? Like, better.
It's cool. It's great. Like, it worked really well. Yeah. It's
cool.
Recommend.
Yeah, this is a great music podcast.
Yeah. We're talking about the Broncos. We're talking about Invisalign.
Cool,
yeah, this is great.
But so I'm sorry, I missed. What was the name of the upcoming song?
It's called "Waste My Time."
Waste My Time. Okay.
Waste My Time. Yeah.
So we're bouncing around all the genres.
Yeah.
Where in what space would you put "Waste My Time"?
Because We Take It Slow, I feel like is kind of like its own thing.
We're getting a little moody. We're getting a little sad. So "Waste My Time" is kind of like the sister song to "We Take It Slow." Like they kind of go hand in hand a little bit. They got a little bit of a similar sound with the vocals, and I can play it for you guys later if you want to hear. But
I will.
January 5th, "Waste My Time." It's I sent it to my mom, and she said, "I don't think I can listen to this ever again. It's too sad."
Wow.
End quote. So I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad. But
what are you talking about in the song? Like, I mean,
it's like
who's wasting your time?
Me, dude. That's the thing, bro. That's the thing.
Deep. That's not where I thought we was going.
Yeah, the chorus is I waste my time on you, and it's like I'm wasting my time on me because like why would I spend time on me? Whoa. Yeah, so it's like it's a whole song. It's just like a journey of like I don't know, being a kid and all. You always feel like you're in the right, and you always feel like you're doing the right thing, you know, as a kid, and you're like I would never be a person to do a bad thing to someone else. And then you get older and you make mistakes and you start to realize like maybe, and then you wonder like this. Yeah, exactly. This whole time, man, was I ever in the right? You know, like so. It's really interesting. It's very like it was one of those songs where I made it and I really had like a real like this is like the best thing I've ever made type of moment. So that was really cool. That was really fun to make and like really like cathartic to just let all that out.
I love when music is therapy sometimes, man. Like,
for real.
I have found out so many times. I found out a lot about myself from just like sitting up and just like songwriting. Exactly. A lot of the times, I mean, like I don't know if it's just like how I roll, but like I feel like that like there is a level to like my soul that just kind of like becomes exposed when you start to songwrite.
Exactly.
Like, is that the same for you, or like do you just kind of like have a topic already and then like
I think songwriting inherently has a level of vulnerability kind of built into it.
Of course.
Yeah. I think
that's where artistry comes good songwriting, I would say, probably has like a little, no, I'm kidding. But
Dynamite by Teo Cruz, you are under attack right now.
That's a great song.
I'm just kidding. I actually love that
song. How dare you?
It's so good.
You know, in high school I had to write in college I took one Spanish general ed class. And when I took this class for like the final project, because I went to a music school, they were like, "Yo, we have to go to a music." Okay, I'm gonna restart. I still go to the music school.
Yeah,
He's gonna do a whole thing. I wanted to act like I was beyond that.
Right here.
All right,
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I'm gonna re-go.
Okay.
When I was in school, I had this Spanish class. Here we go again.
You're not even.
Yeah, I didn't
even try, bro.
He's psyching himself out now.
No, but I took a Spanish class.
This better be fucking good.
It's so not, dude. It's so not good, bro.
No, come on, you can do it. You wasted too much time to not tell the story now.
You had to like sing a song in Spanish or something.
And you did.
I did Dynamite. Dine mi tima.
Ooh,
and
that's hard.
It's somewhere in the vault. It was horrible, dude. It was a dark time. It was nosotros. It was bad, bro.
All he got is nosotros.
The dark ages, but shout out to Teo Cruz, man.
Bro, I did Live in the Villa Loca, bro.
Oh, you just did pretty like a thing.
You just picked a song that was already in Spanish.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know what he's doing Dynamite.
I was gonna say I copy pasted the lyrics into Google Translate
and then just sent them right back out.
And then just tried to sing them.
Dude, I knew that I was in trouble when I started doing that in like high school Spanish, and they were like comprehend this like story in Spanish, and I pasted it into Google Translate, and it made no fucking sense.
Yeah. Dude, sometimes they're like... Yeah, it's like sometimes they be throwing you hard words. But...
We were talking about songwriting.
Well,
And then you started talking about Tile Cruz.
I'm sorry, dude. My bad, bro.
You're good.
I love that we got from Tile Cruz Dynamite to like...
I'm so sorry, y'all.
Oh my God.
We got 15 minutes we have to make up for.
We're vibing. Okay, so songwriting.
Songwriting, Teo Cruz. Teo Cruz is cool, but whatever. The thing I was going to say to you was that... You're good, bro. Chill, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the thing is I actually really enjoy your songwriting. I feel like that's something that I resonate with, like as an artist or stuff. Would you consider yourself like a songwriter first or a producer first? Like, what's like kind of the order of operations?
Because you mentioned you did both, and you kind of swapped around at the start there. Yeah. So like, what now would you?
Well, I do all my own, like everything you've heard is I produced and obviously wrote. Awesome. There's no Drake situation going on here. Nobody's writing my shit for me. But yeah. So I don't know. I don't think either of them go first. I think. Well, here's the thing. I don't write. I just think that like that kind of gets in the way of like the process that you're talking about, where you kind of like learn things about yourself. And I just think like when you start writing, or God forbid typing in the fucking notes app, which is the most uncreative thing you can do, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in the zone. Let me send a text. Like, and like, I don't know, dude. It's just like
yellow and black dead screen. Right
like
here.
It's really shooting yourself in the foot. So like, I don't know. And like, there's been studies prove that writing on paper is more creative, but more conducive to the forming of ideas. But anyways, I just feel like, I don't know, like, writing gets in the way. So unless I'm trying to like remember something that I just thought of, and then it's like, all right. But I don't think either of them go first. Like, I think it's just kind of like, it's just music. Like, I do music, and like it's all aspects of it, and they all kind of happen at the same time.
Yeah, and that's a good outlook too. I think that in this digital age, I think so many people kind of forget, and I've said this a lot before, but like, I think music is fun. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun.
And like,
I think a lot of what's happened over the last few years, especially, is kind of...
I have to put out 8 TikToks.
It's forced. It's not made it less fun, but it's meant that it's a lot harder to look at making music as just fun. Yeah. I think there's a lot... Yeah. If you're trying to be a musician, it's no longer... Let me make a couple songs, check it up on SoundCloud, see what happens. You know, like, I don't think that's a viable option anymore. Yeah, I think the space in music for fun has now been taken up by... Yeah, but you're not allowed to have fun now until you posted 8 TikToks today. Like, and you can have fun posting... Ideally, you're having fun posting the TikToks. Typically, doing all of that fun.
Typically, you're not. Because
but typically, you're not, because it's a fucking slog.
Yeah, it is a slog, and I don't know, dude. It's rough. The TikTok part of it is the worst, especially for like I was gonna say for me because I have ADHD, but pretty much for anybody, because TikTok is designed to be literally the most addictive thing you can possibly look at with your eyes. Yeah. Is like you start making a TikTok, and all of a sudden your like TikTok screen time on your phone is like 3 hours a day, and you're like, oh my God, like I just wish there was a way to make TikToks without actually going on TikTok.
I know. Well, because that's the thing. They did a study where like, if you're not scrolling on TikTok, they won't push your content. Actually, the reason why is because they want you to be on the app, using the app, and like doing the thing. So there's studies where it's like, if you're just going in and just posting something once, I mean that's. And then
there's like a debate on this.
There's so much information.
Yeah, because nobody really knows. There's people on the other side of this. Is kind of what I subscribe to a little bit. Is the idea that you want to be on a certain amount, because yes, they want you on the app. They want to incentivize you to be on the app. Mm-hmm. If you're already on the app, there is no longer... They don't need to incentivize you to be on the app because you're already on the app.
Yeah, so there's probably some middle ground there.
It's about finding a balance between, like, being like, oh, it's like, like, they give you the free sample to get you hooked. You want them to keep giving you that free sample over and over and over. Because the minute you get hooked, they're like, okay, bet, he spent 8 hours on TikTok. Like, well, we don't need to incentivize him anymore. We got it. Yeah. So you got to, like, kind of play it a little bit. Go on there for 45 minutes, hour or so. get out of there. Post a video, get out of there.
Yeah.
You know, because you want to incentivize them to keep you on the platform. And if you stay on the platform, then you don't need to give you anything anymore. You're already there.
Yeah.
Or just don't use TikTok.
Come on.
Because, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it seems like much more trouble than it's worth. I don't know. My shit's never got viral on TikTok. And it's like, if it does, it doesn't, like, translate to actual, like, streams.
Yeah, that's
checking
the other
it
thing
out.
is
Like,
that TikTok is very hard to even find the right people.
Yeah.
So, like, if you blow up, you're like, oh, awesome. Like, we hit, 50,000 views, whatever it might be. How many of those people actually went and listened to the
exactly.
music?
Yeah, unless
especially
you're
when
like,
everyone else is doing the exact same thing.
Exactly. Unless you're like Yeet or fucking Armani White
Yeah.
or like, I don't know, Olivia Rodrigo. Like, this shit's not really going to translate. I don't know. It just is like a rabbit hole that, I don't know, seems like a distraction from like the goal, which is like what you're talking about, which is like making music, which is like it's supposed to be fun. And I mean, I know it's a super naive thing to be like, oh, I just want to make music, but like, I just want to make music.
No, I don't think it's naive. The big thing here is that, like, you have to remember, it's like, it's just an app, dude. And your music and creativity is so much more. And like, our next guest is McLean from Live 2. And he's a big,
cool.
his advertisement, the big thing he's always saying is art, not algorithms. So you guys can check that out next week after this one. But
hi, McLean.
Yeah. He's but like, the cool thing is that there are people in this industry who, and I think yourself included, when it comes to making, like, people put the algorithm in front of the art, and that is just not, like, I don't know if it's just the content driven, like, that we've just been brainwashed into that, but it is not, like, I would much rather that you pour, as a consumer, as a fan, I would much rather listen to you pour your heart and soul into something that is truly, authentically you, fully in all music. Like, it's just art, rather than, hey guys, check out this song I made with, I don't know, like,
here's my TikTok.
Here's the Subway Surfers in the bottom.
Because the things that rise up are still the genuinely good original content.
Of course.
Like you just said, Armani White. Like, I don't know, maybe he was a plant. There was like some shit about him maybe being a plant. That's a fire ass song.
It's a good song.
It's a good ass song.
It's a good
I've
song.
only heard the 15 seconds or whatever.
It was pretty decent.
Same.
I like it.
Same. I don't know anything other than the hook.
Fair enough.
I know Billy Eilish.
Billy Eilish, yeah, Billy Eilish.
She brought him out. She brought him out on tour, which was cool.
Oh, really?
That like she actually had him come out. She's like, "Do you guys know this song?" And like he just came out.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But there's a lot of cool people. There's a lot of cool people who have come up out of TikTok, like, which is like really cool.
McLean.
Like,
yeah.
Sure. But there's a lot of cool people who have come up like having nothing to do with TikTok, like like Tommy Richmond. Like,
I don't know that.
You don't know Tommy Richmond?
No. Should I have known who Tommy?
Wait. That's crazy. You don't know,
Yeah,
like,
you kind of took all the air out of his point.
Who's
right
Tommy
there.
Richmond?
Everything's punk. You don't know about that? You know Paco?
Oh, I do know Paco.
Yeah.
Wait.
You know Tommy Richmond.
I feel...
He just got off tour with Brent Faiyaz.
Go on, Micah.
You know Brent Faiyaz?
I know Brent Faiyaz.
I know of the name, and I know Brent Faiyaz a lot more. I know of the name.
We suck. Yeah.
Are we uncultured?
No, you're missing out. It's great music, but he doesn't really have shit on TikTok, and he just blew up off the power of the music itself, I guess. Which
I feel like someone who came up that people it feels like he's a TikTok guy, but he's not.
Exactly.
Drakens. He feels like he would be a TikTok.
He was originally when he was doing covers,
and then he disappeared.
And then he stopped.
His main success came just from dropping music and kind of having a.
Well, there was like music videos.
It's just that voice, dude.
There was the
it's just his
music
voice.
videos and
You
the
hear his
voice,
voice and you go like, what the? Like when I first hated his voice, dude, I hated it. I was like, this guy's so whiny.
And he was like 16, 17 doing all that shit at first. Like,
well, I think that there's a level to it where obviously talent is still required.
Of course, yeah. Of
and
course.
there's still a necessity for, like you can't pump. I think in the same way with TikToks and stuff, you can't just pump out songs and expect all of them to do well and blow up.
Of course.
Like I think that marketing is still just as important, and you don't have to do that on TikTok. Yes, I think it's important to like be active on social media, or at least like represent that somehow. But I don't think that like just spamming this and this is as important. But it's also I actually would say this, in any situation, I feel like as long as the artistry is still well represented and respected as the number one thing, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like if you do make TikToks, but
Go
like
for it.
you're not making songs to make TikTok, or you're not making TikTok songs, great.
Yeah.
You're an artist, and I love that. But like, it's when you dilute the creativity and the artistry into just like this like content space.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, I don't see the I don't know
For sure.
sophistication of all that, but
The value, the merit.
I don't know. The last thing I was going to mention to you is, and then we're probably pretty good on time here, but the thing is, so you mentioned early on that you were like, what'd you say?
That's SZA.
There is SZA in the corner. We've had SZA in the corner for like 2 months.
Nope.
Why?
We only did that episode like 2 streams ago. Now, if you look in the top left corner, I added a lifeboat with AI. And that was it was from our quiz that we did. We did an AI quiz where I showed them cover art that had been edited by AI. They had to point out.
The real one?
Oh, no, they had to point out what was different about it. So, yeah, it was like SZA. If you look in the top left, it's kind of small.
Just threw in a lifeboat.
Yeah, and I
Was this here?
put in lifeboat. No, but my favorite, that was the easy one. My favorite one was I took a Where's Wally or like a Where's Waldo.
Was it Wally?
Whatever the fuck, wherever you're from, it's
Watch your
different
tone, bro.
depending where
Respect,
it
put
depends.
some respect
Whatever.
on Waldo's name.
And then I changed some of the people to be artists.
The Where's Waldo.
And then I put it on the screen, and they just had to
That's a guess.
like point out what was different about it and who the AI characters that were added, like where the musicians were in the Where's Waldo file. I'll say Waldo for you guys.
Waldo. Is it Waldy for you?
It's Waldy, no, Wally, bro. Where's Wally in the UK?
Really?
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, that
where's
makes
Wally?
sense. Wait, how do you spell tires? No, there's no wrong way. I'm just curious how you guys spelled.
YRES.
Yep.
I spell color.
CLOURS. Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's a
I know
U in
because I used to
color,
read
bro.
like young adult, like when I was a kid I read a ton, and
English
I
guy.
read like a lot of like young adult fiction books that were like written by British artists or British authors.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, why the fuck is tire spelled like this? And I like go to my mom and I'm like, is this how you spell tires? And she's like, no.
They dumb as fuck, bro.
Dude, eggplant is the craziest thing. Aubergine.
Eggplant aubergine, bro.
Aubergine. Are you tweaking? Do you watch?
No. You ready for this?
Mm.
What are cans made out of?
Metal.
Aluminium.
Aluminium. Yeah.
Aluminum.
Do you watch the Great British Baking Show?
I do.
I love that shit, dude. It's so good.
Bro, it's so
That's the
funny.
only
It's
way I
good.
know about the fucking aubergine, dude. I love that show. It's so
Aubergine
I love
eggplant
it.
mix.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Exactly.
we have like, I'm trying to think like other words.
I'm trying to
A
hold
garage,
I'm
garage.
trying to hold back.
back. Dude,
This dude, okay, you know what? I know what he's gonna say.
I was gonna apologize.
You were gonna, no, you
I
weren't.
very frequently.
He's gonna apologize for all the tea that he threw in the harbor or something. That's where this is going. Like,
I very frequently
Wow.
make fun of Finley because of his, because of who he is, and that's something he can't
Why?
change.
What other reason would you make fun of somebody for, dude?
for who they're not.
Just
like,
something they can't change. That's
Exactly, dude.
That's what I make fun.
You're not getting out of that one.
No, but I want to apologize. I do that too frequently, and I don't mean that.
Bro, we
Sensitive,
spent a
dude.
whole 20 minutes roasting the Broncos earlier. I'm
That's
not that beat
British
up
people,
about
man.
it.
Long
well,
history of oppression.
What?
Go ahead.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said the British people, long history of oppression. You know, you can't make fun of them. They've been put down too many times.
Yeah, we've had it too rough
For you
too
to
long.
make fun of us.
Over here in the we.
It's been hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, we used to control so much, and then it got taken from us, and we're pissed about that. Okay,
Yeah.
No.
As you were saying,
I don't even know, dude.
you said I want to ask you one thing, and then I said,
Wow.
"Is that SZA?"
Yeah.
Is that SZA? I don't even know. That's a crazy thing. There was a thing that at the beginning of this you said that albums were always a big thing for you.
Yeah.
I noticed you have a lot of singles right
Yeah.
now.
Am I making an album?
Is there something like that in the works?
No,
that you can
no.
share?
I'm just
Damn.
doing singles, man. They got me. They were like, you can't do albums. You just have to do singles. And I don't know, like, I don't have the time to put together an album right now. I'd love to. That'd be really fun, and it's going to be really good whenever it happens. But for now, it's just singles. I got singles planned through to... Oh, I wanted to say while I'm on here, I'm going to do a song. I'm going to try to do a song every month next year.
Woo.
So
Let's go, dude.
We're gonna hold you to that.
We got songs for the first. We got songs till I think till May. Right now I have like 4 of them. They're not completely done, but like they're pretty close to ready. So yeah, we're gonna try and do a song every month or something like that.
And that's all you, right? Like, are you doing
yeah, it's hard. I saw your guys the Buppy clip where he was like, you have to have somebody mix for you.
Yeah.
You were
and
like,
I was
fuck.
like, I saw that and I went and hit up all the mixing homies that I knew, and they're like, yeah, like I charge like $500-$600 for a sound. I'm like, dude, who do you think I am?
Yeah.
What do you think I got, like a label backing, dude? Oh, I'll just build a label. Like I'm so mixing it myself and producing it myself and writing it myself and shooting the videos myself and shooting the cover art myself and marketing it with some help.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eleanor. She's actually helping me do the marketing, which is really
cool.
that's
Yeah,
really
she got
great.
that.
She's
Yeah, she got the
smart, bro.
Facebook. She got the Facebook marketing. Yeah,
She got to unlock. So, yeah, no album so far, but we're gonna do a bunch of singles.
Cool. Well, the thing as I was gonna say is, I think what Bubby was saying in that thing was just like that's just how he works, and I think that I'm not bashing his mindset at all.
No, it's
like,
good.
I think it's
good.
really good.
It's necessary.
But at the same regard too is like, I think it's a good skill to know a lot of things. Like even if you're not like the mixing engineer, like the best at it, like you should know what a compressor does.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
you get it out there.
being, as you famously said, now I'm gonna make fun of you. Putting your fingers in all the pies.
No, that was
funniest thing.
That was you.
No, I never said that.
That was you.
Those words would never come out of my mouth.
Roseflower collectively said, "Putting your fingers in all the."
Run it back to that was the Dumb Days episode we were talking. Run it back. That was
I got fingers in
absolutely
all
you.
the pies.
Goofiest thing I've ever heard. But we are looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Can't wait for the at least till May.
all the
and
pies,
for
man.
all the for all the pies.
January, it's gonna be pie every month.
Hell yeah,
great.
That's the
baby.
Great British Baking Show. Right there.
I love it, dude.
You've been
awesome.
inspired.
Is there anything that you want to bring up that we have not? Super important. That you need to.
This is like the part of the job interview where they say, "Do you have any questions for us?"
Yeah.
And you're supposed to have them, but usually
Yeah, we're
you
gonna
don't.
talk about like do an exit interview. with
Once
them
you
after
leave, we're gonna be like,
yeah.
so what do we think?
How do you react to that situation?
I'm taking notes right
I don't know if there's anything I want to bring up. I'm surprised you guys haven't heard Tommy Richmond. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude,
Do you know Illusion Hills?
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it. Dude,
Okay, great.
I saw Illusion Hills live with because they did a thing.
Oh,
with,
at Live 2.
Yeah.
The Live 2 thing.
Live
Yeah.
2, and then they did the song with
They have a song with Buppy.
the song with Buppy. What's the other one? I don't know. Doesn't matter. But yes, I do know.
Yeah,
Illusion Hills.
okay.
That's
I don't know,
cool.
just checking, just testing the waters here. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, okay.
Your
That's all I
Spotify
got.
Wrapped is probably so cool.
It's not, dude. You want to know what it is? The first I got for my songs. It's the first 5 songs off Utopia in order. I'm not
No,
kidding.
That's cool, bro. That's
It's actually not in order. It's Sirens, and then it's the first 4, and then not Modern Jam because I didn't really like that much. But shout out Tizo because I remember when he made Sucker, and now he's on Utopia and Drake albums, which is insane to me.
Dude, Tizo's crazy, bro.
Oh, I know, yeah. That's
I
a whole
love Tizo.
other 2-hour
Yeah.
podcast.
So cute.
Yeah, he's crazy. But yeah, it's like it's Travis Scott and Yeet, and then Tommy Richmond,
There you go.
and then I think it's Break-Ins, and then Smino.
There you go. That's
it
a respectable top 5 right
It was
there.
good.
So if they all went head to head, if that was like your basketball starting lineup, right? Who you got at center?
Who do I got at center? I'm probably putting Travis at center.
Putting
I mean,
Travis,
well,
eh?
actually, he's a bit of a shooter.
Yeah, dude. I feel like
They're
he's
looking
point
for the
guard or something,
shooter.
you know?
Yeah.
Let him
Well,
run the offense.
I'm just thinking about everybody else here because, like, I think he's probably the biggest one out of all of them. He's
Yo,
like
where's
6.
Break-Ins on that team?
Bro, he's on the bench.
He's on the bench.
He's
bro.
on the bench, bro. He's designing the flyer for the game.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
He's the bench boy. He's the water guy.
Well, I think it's
Exactly,
best to
man.
hide, the weak points at the 3. I feel like Break-Ins would be a nice.
Break-Ins is running 3. I don't know, man.
But anyways,
Yeah.
NBA draft with your.
With your
That is
Spotify Wrapped.
phenomenal.
Who was in your Spotify Wrapped? You guys. That's what I want to know.
Okay, cool. I would have to look at it.
Do
I
it.
can run mine. I think.
Run yours while he pulls
My
his
top
up.
one, because we just did a episode on this yesterday.
Oh,
Top
okay.
artist with Kid Quill.
Okay.
Then I have Green Day.
Oh, okay.
Then Mayday Parade.
Whoa. I haven't heard that name in
Then-
years.
I know.
That's what everyone fucking
Crazy.
says, bro.
What
well, no,
the
because
fuck?
because it's that album from years ago. I don't listen to their new shit. The only album I have saved.
Well, that's how a lot of those bands are. Like that's how I am with Bring Me the Horizon. Like I love their old stuff.
I only have the 10-year anniversary album of saved.
Fucking made
and
it
then fucking Polo G that I'm mad about. I don't know how he ended up. I'm so mad about that.
Just random.
Yeah.
Just so random.
And then Aries is the
Aries?
the fifth. Yeah.
I liked his new stuff. I haven't gone that much into his old stuff.
Yeah, I'm more of
Old
like a
stuff is
newer
better.
stuff guy.
What?
Really? I fuck with the newer stuff.
Cabin
honestly.
Fever and Snake Eyes are very, very good, and the other ones.
You know, Snake Eyes.
man.
I don't love Snake Eyes.
You know that's Breakin's guitarist on that one.
Really?
Yeah, Will.
Yeah. Which funny story. Grant and him almost made a song,
What?
but then Grant knows everybody. You got to talk to Grant about it.
I would
But
need to reconvene.
then it just never
Grand
ended up
episode part
happening.
2.
Yeah, Grant part 2.
He knows everybody, man. You just gotta sit him down, just pull up a list of people, and just ask, "Do you know this person? Do you know this person?" He'll be like, "Yes, yes, yes." He
That's
knows.
crazy.
Yeah. What's yours?
I got Dominic Fike,
Mm-hmm.
number 1. One of my homies, I was just repping the boys. Name's Elijah. Shout out Elijah.
Shout out Elijah.
I also have a homie named Elijah. Shout out Elijah.
Shout out homie's name Elijah, brother lit. This guy I found named Danny Dwyer. Really cool.
Sounds familiar.
He does everything under the sun. And I really like that because like every song that you hear is like different. So he's
Cool,
got
that's sick.
What'd you say?
That's sick.
Yeah. He does like the first song I found was like a weird hyper pop thing, but then like he's got like really heavy pop punk songs,
Cool.
soft acoustic
Cool,
ballads,
cool,
like
cool.
a Mauro Paulo-esque stuff, so that's pretty cool. Rapper named What Up RG, I think he's lit. And then EDM Lewis the Child. That was my number 5.
Lewis the Child is sick. Yeah. That's
And,
cool.
Yeah, but my number 1 song was a song by Novo Amor, which is very soft, like kind of folk thing. And then New Gold with Gorillaz and Tame Impala.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Banger
listen to that one.
song. It's in 6/4. That's how I am quirky because not every song of mine is in 4/4. But yeah,
Well, yeah, you mentioned it a couple times. You got one song coming out in January, and of course, for the rest of the year too, you have this camera in the middle here, and you have this camera facing you over here.
We're doing the hot ones. What have you got
We're
coming
doing the
up?
hot ones, exactly. You're
This
the
camera
first
here
person.
and this camera
You're
here.
the first
What have
person
you
to
got
get
coming
that
up?
reference.
Of course.
I knew it. I just never said it.
Yeah, well, of course.
So yeah, where can people find you? What can they expect for you in next year? I guess in the new year.
Yeah, so top of the new year, we're dropping a song called Waste My Time. Obviously, I am Graham McLaren, if you haven't figured that out already. And what kind of music is it? You might wonder. Well, when people like to ask me, they say, like, what kind of music do you make? I usually like to say the good kind.
There you go.
Just because it's easier than explaining. So, yeah, we got songs coming out January, February, March, April, and then maybe May. And then after that, we're just like, I don't have a plan that far.
After that,
So-
we're playing it by ear.
January. Also, I got an interview with Roseflower coming out in about 2 weeks.
Now.
so meta. So yeah, that's all I got coming up. Yeah, that's about it.
And Micah, where can
Yes.
everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Shoelace Music, spelled SHOOLACE, and music, how you would normally spell it. And Finley, where can they find you and Roseflower Records?
You can find me on Instagram at Finley Did It, because who did it?
Finley did it.
There you go. You can find Roseflower Records at Roseflower Records on Instagram, on Threads, and on TikTok. At Roflow
Threads.
Records on Twitter/X. They have a character limit, so we got sucked down to Roflow Records, which
Roflow.
I don't fuck with it, bro.
It's just something else now.
Yeah, I just don't fuck with
just
it
a
at all.
different thing.
And
It's like peanut butter.
yeah, you can also find us on Twitch, on Kick, on
Kick?
yeah, bro. We got Restream. We're streaming on like
you have to
fuck?
explain. Kick is not the like
not
messaging
not
app.
the messaging. Yeah, you know, we're not talking about the messaging app from 10 years ago.
Oh
You're talking
no,
about-
that's what I thought you were
no.
talking
That's
about.
what everyone
mentioned
thinks
that
I'm
too.
talking about.
Like, what the hell?
Everyone thinks you were.
You can find me on WhatsApp.
yeah.
Why?
No, you can find us on Kick, on Twitch, on Facebook now as well. You
And
can
Words
go-
with Friends.
And Words with Friends, and we're on
What?
Chess Online if you want to play
And Doodle
chess
Jump
with
too.
us. Yeah, yeah. If you want to beat my Subway Surfers score, it is 112,000. You send me a screenshot in the DMs if you want to prove that you beat me.
Or you can also email him.
Or
at-
you could email me. I was getting there. You can't take my
Stole your
segue
thunder,
from me,
baby.
bro. You can email me or Micah or Cade, who's behind the cameras, at our names at RoseFlowerRecords.com. I'm waiting for the day that someone actually emails our names at RoseFlowerRecords.com. You know, as opposed to our names at
You won't get
RoseFlowerRecords.com.
it. You won't get it.
Graham, thank you so much for coming, man.
Thank you. You can find me at Graham McLaren at all Instagram. I think it's Graham _McLaren. Instagram like Graham Crackers and McLaren like those nice cars.
How often do you have to say that?
Not very often. I usually only say it for shows. For live shows.
And are you a McLaren fan? Last question.
Of the cars? I'm not a big car guy, I think. I don't know.
Scooters more than
Yeah.
He's an 18-wheeler guy, honestly. You look like an 18-wheeler guy.
I like walking, I think.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? So,
come on.
Yeah.
We weren't born with wheels.
Exactly.
And on that note, hey, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys. Awesome. This is fun.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye. See you in the future.